You know, ever since I was little, I always wanted to be Cruella de Vil, and now I am.
Like, now we live in a country where a man could say, now I'm a woman. Now I'm a woman. And we will call you by your name as a woman. But that doesn't mean that a doctor ain't gonna call you until you need a prostate examination.
I don't attract gay men, and I'm not attracted to gay men. These are not the men that are interested in me in that capacity. I do that when I go to the straight rooms.
20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. Earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender.
Shock comments are flying after Katt Williams and DL Hughley publicly criticized E.J. Johnson. And the internet is split. They argued that constant validation can blur important boundaries, pointing to E.J.'s latest viral moment in Paris, where he was seen modeling a leather dress and towering heels. This comes shortly after E.J. sparked backlash for claiming he looks better than most women and mainly attracts straight men, leaving many people questioning that logic. Critics say the situation feels contradictory, especially as EJ has also spoken about shifting away from he/him pronouns toward they/them or she/her. The debate has only intensified with claims that even close family members are expected to adjust how they address him, fueling ongoing discussions about identity, perception, and public reaction online.
But even I told them on my birthday in June that I was like, we're not doing he, we're not doing man, we're not doing gay. And it was very freeing, even like son. I was like, you know, the world tried to give me that label, like Magic Johnson's son. And I was like, well, he's dead. And now there is Miss Thing. We're not doing that either.
E.J. Johnson has sparked renewed debate over identity and labels. He dates men but does not identify as gay, and at the same time rejects being labeled a woman or a trans woman. Many outlets describe him as non-binary or gender fluid, but he pushes back on those labels as well. While that is his choice, some critics take issue with his statements, such as claiming he looks better than any woman and attracts straight men. They argue this comes across as attention-seeking. Meanwhile, DL Hughley weighed in, saying people can identify how they wish, but biology remains constant.
Like, now we live in a country where a man could say, now I'm a woman. Now I'm a woman. And we will call you by your name as a woman. But that doesn't mean that a doctor ain't gonna call you until you need a prostate examination. You can wear a sundress when you go. Yeah. You're still getting the same thing I'm getting. So happy anniversary, I guess. You can say you're a thing and you're that.
Yeah.
You like it, and you have to for now. I'm a white man trapped in this black man's body.
Yeah.
My name is Chad.
Yeah.
Now that ain't gonna work good for the police. Wait, I'm a white man, but both of y'all get out. But the first. Yeah.
Katt Williams has taken a different stance, saying he does not find the situation amusing. Instead, he has made controversial claims that certain trends in Hollywood are tied to darker influences. During an appearance on Joe Rogan's podcast, he suggested a connection between gender identity discussions, industry success, and the occult figure Baphomet. He described alleged rituals in which followers show loyalty by symbolic gestures, claiming this reflects a broader culture of power and influence. Williams argued that these dynamics would eventually become mainstream, framing the issue as part of a larger conversation about control and societal shifts in entertainment.
20 years ago, I knew that transgenders was going to be a thing. It wasn't because I was a prophet. It's just I had gotten so much information that I understood that things are secular. So I understood that the earliest I had seen that word transgender was Baphomet, the transgender. And so I knew that in the ritual of Baphomet, the transgender, to show allegiance to him, you had to kiss his ass ring.
Really?
And it said both of those things. So I knew that both of those things would become popular in the future.
Katt Williams has continued to push a controversial perspective about how power operates in Hollywood, arguing that certain symbolic acts are used to humiliate and control celebrities. According to him, moments like men wearing dresses, exaggerated public behavior, or references to figures such as Baphomet are not random or purely artistic choices, but deliberate moves meant to challenge a person's ego and reshape their public image. In his view, once a celebrity agrees to something uncomfortable or embarrassing, it creates leverage, proof they are willing to comply, which can then be used to keep them in line.
When my son came out, I was so happy for him and happy for us as parents. And we love him. And EJ is amazing. And so you gotta support your child.
But honestly, every time Magic Johnson is asked about EJ, some viewers feel his body language tells a different story. He can appear tense, occasionally stumbling over his words and avoiding steady eye contact. To critics, it doesn't always come across as completely natural or relaxed, which fuels ongoing speculation about how genuine those moments really are.
In the Black community, young gay men or young ladies who are lesbian, they're afraid to tell their parents. Just like I want my son EJ to talk to me about everything. I want my son Andre to talk to me, my daughter Elisa, and that's what it's about. Yes, I go to church. You know, I'm a Christian. But at the same time, you know, this is reality. You know, my son is gay. That's reality.
It's also interesting that in many interviews, Magic Johnson refers to EJ Johnson as gay, even though EJ has said he rejects that label. That contrast raises questions for some observers about whether Magic's public stance fully aligns with EJ's own views, and whether his acceptance is as consistent as it appears.
Your youngest son chose to live his life as a gay man.
That's right. I don't care. You want to be a gay man? I'm supporting that.
Right.
I'm supporting that. I'm supporting you.
Some observers believe that Magic Johnson may carry private discomfort about EJ Johnson's lifestyle, even though he consistently presents a supportive image in public. A big part of that discussion centers on how carefully built his reputation has been over the years. After his HIV diagnosis in the early 1990s, Magic stepped away from basketball under intense public scrutiny and later worked for decades to rebuild his image as a responsible, family-focused figure. Today, as a billionaire businessman, much of his success depends on endorsements, partnerships, and a widely positive public perception. Because of that, some argue that even a small hint of disapproval toward EJ could trigger backlash, potentially affecting both his brand and financial standing. There is also the generational factor. Magic came up in a very different NBA culture, one that was often less open and less accepting of differences in identity and expression. By the time EJ became a public figure, social attitudes had evolved significantly, especially in entertainment and media spaces. For high-profile figures like Magic, showing public support is now not just encouraged but expected. This shift has led some critics to question whether his stance is entirely personal or partly shaped by changing cultural pressures. These interpretations sometimes overlap with broader claims made by Katt Williams, who has suggested that celebrities operate within systems that reward conformity and punish deviation. While those ideas remain controversial and unproven, they continue to influence how some people read situations like this, viewing public displays of support as potentially influenced by external expectations rather than purely personal conviction. On the other hand, many reject that skeptical view entirely. They argue that Magic's actions over the years, appearing publicly with EJ, speaking positively about him in interviews, and consistently emphasizing love and acceptance, point to something genuine. From this perspective, what some interpret as hesitation or tension could simply be the normal process of a parent adapting, learning, and growing in understanding, especially under constant public attention. Similar discussions have emerged around other celebrities, including Marlon Wayans, who has openly shared his own journey of supporting his child. In these cases, moments that appear uncertain or emotional are often seen not as signs of rejection, but as evidence of real, human adjustment. Ultimately, the divide in opinion reflects a broader conversation about authenticity, public image, and the challenges of navigating deeply personal family dynamics on a global stage.
How old is your daughter now?
My child's 23.
Okay.
24 now.
Okay.
And this was happening when they were 22, 23. And for me, like,
that's the let go time. That's like you're your own person now.
yeah. But
And-
you're trying to hold on, right? And you want this thing that's in your head, normalcy, and you're thinking about your grandchildren and you all kinds of shit. And it's like, yo, it's not on me to think about none of that.
A similar conversation surrounds Eddie Murphy, who tends to keep his family life more private. His child, Angel Iris Murphy Brown, has been reported as transgender. Yet Eddie rarely speaks about Angel publicly when discussing his children. Some people question that silence, while others see it as a choice to protect privacy rather than a lack of support. In contrast, Dwayne Wade has been very open about supporting his daughter, Zaya Wade. His approach is highly visible, which some interpret differently, either as strong advocacy or to critics, as potentially overemphasized.
The trans conversation is not the entire conversation with us. This is 10% of our relationship. We have regular, just conversation about anything.
Yeah.
Chicken fingers, French fries, like.
Remember our conversation on mustard?
Yeah, mustard. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't want people to think that every time that Zaya and I sit down and have, this daddy-daughter time, and I tell you guys all the time, I always create moments with my village for my people, right? Especially my kids. I'm gonna find these moments to create with them.
These are all men who built their brands on toughness, confidence, and traditional masculinity. Now they're in a position where saying the wrong thing, or even staying silent too long, can lead to backlash or cancellation. But what do you think about all this, especially the situation with E.J. Johnson? Do you believe Magic Johnson truly accepts him? And what's your take on Katt Williams' claims? Share your thoughts below, and don't miss the next video.